Welcome back to Coach Factory. I'm Kathy, and this is the channel where we talk about your coaching business. And today we're going to talk about sales. The thing you got to do. I know you're not in coaching because you want to sell, but if you're not selling, you don't have a coaching business. If you're not selling, you're not having a business at all. You're just coaching. You could go do it for free. I've done plenty of free coaching sessions, and I love the coaching experience. I love being able to sit with someone when they get it. I get chills. They have tears. I get tears. It's an amazing experience, and I love being there for it. But if I want to make it a business, I have to make it a business, and that means I have to sell. Now, sales is something that has not been hard for me. When I was a teenager, way back a long time ago, my father had an office equipment business, and over the summer, I was working on the floor where there were typewriters. It dates me incredibly, but there were typewriters, but they had computers in them, and I thought it was so cool. So there were plain typewriters, and then there were these computer typewriters, and I was selling more of the computer typewriters because I was so excited that computing was being added to typewriters. And of course, all these college students were coming in because they're going away to college and they needed a way to do papers. And so everybody's buying typewriters. And so I was like, well, you should see this one. It's really cool. And I did so well. My father gave me one of them and I brought it to college when I went away. It was so much fun. I enjoyed the sales process. I enjoyed getting other people excited about what they could do with new technology. When I ran my own digital agency, I loved selling the project and selling the opportunity of getting a business's presence online. I loved the sale. I would get so excited that I had the sale, and then I'm like, oh man, now I got to do the work. I enjoyed the work too, but I enjoyed the selling so much more because I was selling a vision of what someone was going to have at the end of the project, that they were going to have a website that fully represented their business, that it was going to be a window into the business and create connections between the business and their customers. So I was a good salesperson. It was part of the reason why I was successful at other businesses that I've worked for. Selling my husband was easy for me because I fully believed in what he was doing, so I could get out there as my influencer self and go sell. In my own coaching practice, however, selling myself, selling me, it's a challenge. I can't imagine what it is for a coach that might be more relationship driven, somebody who's a relator according to M Code. Those types of people are more interested in connecting with people, and that experience of sitting with someone while they're having a breakthrough is even more empowering to them. Those relators are not necessarily motivated by getting the sale. Someone who might be an achiever, they might have some kind of structure within their business and they get those gold stars and bonus checks and lots of recognition for making a lot of sales. And so they're driven and motivated by having that recognition for being a top performer in sales. Everybody is motivated by selling in a different way. But here's the thing. You don't have to be motivated like me for sales. You don't have to be motivated like an achiever for sales. You are motivated to make a sale in some way. Let's talk about some of the dimensions and how you can be motivated to make sales. I was talking earlier with one of my coworkers who is primarily a learner. And learners like to get into the details, learn how things operate, and then they like to comprehend all of that and express it and teach other people. That's how they sell. Each of us are motivated somewhat differently. Each of us has a different motivational dimension as our primary dimension. We have different ways that we sell. By fully understanding yourself, you get to learn how you sell. You get to learn how to sell because you can be more of yourself in a sales process. Now, selling yourself can be very hard. It's almost like you have to create this persona of something that you're selling. Like you're not necessarily selling yourself, you're selling well, I'm selling Kathy as the person who has done all of these things and has all of these achievements. This person who has gone through trying times in her life and found tools and techniques to overcome those vulnerable and traumatic experiences and turned them into my own personal power. That persona is what I'm selling. It's not me necessarily, but it is me. But we have to have this persona of what it is that we're selling and dissociate ourselves away from that. When we do that, we can sell who that person is in a wider context. And then when we're having a sales conversation, when we fully understand who we really are, we then bring that self, that fully authentic self that we fully embrace, we bring that self to a one-on-one sales conversation. Then you're not necessarily selling yourself. You're there being present with your coaching prospect in a way that's authentically you. If you are an optimizer, you are there bringing those types of motivations to your coaching call, and that is perfectly okay. And even if you have somebody who isn't an optimizer, they can recognize who you are, your authentic self, and if they are meant to work with you, they will choose you. The people who don't resonate with you, you don't necessarily want to work with them anyway. You have the propensity of having issues and conflict in a relationship where you are differently motivated. But when you show up in those sales calls as 100% yourself, your prospects resonate with that. You don't even necessarily have to know how you're motivated. That language just is going to come through. You're not going to sell to all 8 dimensions. If you look at who your clients are right now, you're probably going to recognize that there are a few dimensions that are typical of the clients that resonate with you because they understand your language, the language that you're using unconsciously. You can become more conscious of it when you take the M code and understand how you're motivated, and you can find deeper connections with your clients when you are more conscious of who you really are. Now, I imagine a lot of the people who watch this channel and the content that I'm creating, and they look at me and they resonate with me at various levels. If you're a visionary, an influencer, or even a relator, you're probably going to vibe with me because those are some of the things that I express. Learner is another one. It's one of my lower dimensions, but it's something that's exciting to me to comprehend what might be going on in the world, understand what's happening in the coaching industry, what's happening in coaching businesses, comprehend all of that, and then express it. So those are the types of motivations that I am bringing to this channel. And if that resonates with you, you're probably here. And people who are more like maybe the optimizers or the orchestrators who are interested in streamlining processes and want much more detail and less strategy, those people are not going to like my content. And I have to be perfectly okay with that. And I am perfectly okay with that. I love my optimizers and my orchestrators and the people who drive Asana, but it's not me. And so I am okay with only talking to a few dimensions and the people who are more like me, who resonate more with my language and my understanding of the coaching business. So when you are thinking about selling in your business, leaning more into who you really are and showing up as that without making any apologies, that is when you're going to connect. You're going to connect with the people who really need you. You're going to connect with the people whose language is similar to yours. And you are going to connect with the people who need what you have to offer. The more vulnerable you can be from a standpoint of understanding your vulnerability and how you solved those types of problems and issues that you've had in your life, that type of thing just connects. People can put themselves in your shoes and they know your story. They resonate with it because you are being very open. You're also bringing those 2020 hindsight insights that you can only have when you've lived through it. So when you're selling, be yourself. Be entirely yourself. And if you have the discomfort that I've often had of selling yourself and what is that and how do I do that? How do I fully represent who I am? Don't put that pressure on yourself. It's not like a typewriter. It's not like a project. It's not the work. It's you. It's 100% authentic you. And if you need to create a persona to sort of like trick your mind into being able to sell the package of what that is, you can do that. Just make it as authentically you as possible. Kind of can trick you into selling something that isn't necessarily you, that you're not attached to, but people still resonate with. And if you need help with this and selling who you really are and showing up as yourself, first of all, I'd recommend taking Code and find out how you're motivated so you can lean into who you really are. And also, get some help. Get a third-party perspective on how to sell in coaching. And as a strategist, I am here for you. The rest of the team at Coach Factory is as well. There's a link down below if you would like to book a free strategy session. We are here for you, and we will see you next time on Coach Factory.